Okay everyone, so today I'm creating a magical love charm, which is basically a dust composed of 3 ingredients that I will put into this vial. And this small vial is about, I'd say, an inch wide, well, maybe a little under an inch wide, and about a third of an inch thick. My dimensions might be a little off, but basically I've labeled this little bottle. It has a cork and it is made of glass, and the label I have on it says C plus C plus R, and that basically means clove plus cinnamon plus rose petals. And these are traditional ingredients for attracting love. These are traditional ingredients to also combat negativity. And this is basically what the clove looks like when you get it raw. And this is basically what the cinnamon looks like when you get it raw. And I already have already had the rose petals basically ground up in this mortar and pestle. And it's already dust, so I just added that in while I was grinding up the cinnamon and clove. And basically you just want to have it flat on the surface, whatever surface you're on, and kind of grind it with this. And you want to get it to a pretty fine powder. I've already done quite a bit of grinding here, and I'm not going to use all of this, but you want to have a pretty okay amount so that you're at least not under the amount that you need to fill up the vial. And the symbol, the rune, that I'm going to carve onto the back of this little vial here is going to be the rune for possessions, Fehu. It's going to be it's the rune for Freya as well, the goddess of love in the northern tradition. She's Vanir. She's basically a god of cycles, and she is the god of both warriorhood and love. And she basically takes, in the northern tradition, she takes half of the dead who die as warriors, and Odin takes the other half who die as warriors. So it's basically an F, but the capital F, but the arms of the F are kind of pointed upward. It's I'll go ahead and write it down just so you can see it. The Fehu rune basically looks like that. It's kind of 2 arms stretching to the heavens, and kind of asking for the possessions that can be had in the material realm, but are influenced by the subtle realm, the astral realm. So I'm going to go ahead and do this rune on this vial with an engraving pin that I have, and it's going to be on the back. And it doesn't have to be incredibly deep, and the basic design will add to the magic of it. You don't have to do it incredibly well, or get a deep groove, but it is good for it to be visible. I'm going to refine this just a little bit. And you probably won't be able to see that, but the back of it has the Fehu rune now. And this basically just adds to the meaning of the force that is contained within this charm. Now, as I've said, I've ground up these different ingredients, the clove, the cinnamon, and the rose. And if you want to know some of the properties of the clove, it's repelling negative influences. And cinnamon is exorcism, protection, healing, and visions. And these herbs, I've gotten quite a few of them in a pack, kind of, in a set. And they came from the Witch Supercenter. And you can go to www.witchsupercenter.com. But I ordered them on Amazon, but this is the source of the ingredients. And they're pretty good at delivering raw ingredients. I have no complaints with their service. Now, I'm going to attempt to place this dust, assuming that I ground it fine enough, into this vial. And I'm just going to go ahead and pinch small amounts. Try to get not the chunks, but the finer pieces in there. And this is why you kind of want to have a lot, because you really don't know how much it's going to take until you put it in a vial, because these small vials, they may not accept bigger pieces, and it may benefit us to, if we're going to use this same vial again for the same combination, to have a larger amount that we can add into it later, should we decide to use it in the future. And I'll explain in a second how this dust might be used. But in general, this is a magical charm from which you gather the dust to perform specific magical endeavors. That's why it's very important that you remember the ingredients, as I placed on the little label on the front, the pink label, C plus C plus R, which means clove plus cinnamon plus rose petals. And I also placed a heart above it so that I know the purpose of this combination. And there's a good amount that's fitting in here. We can add a little bit more, but there's a good amount. Clove and cinnamon are especially strong scents. The rose is more of a subtle scent. It's very I don't want to say floral. That's obvious, but it's very sweet. And the cinnamon is harsh, and the clove is harsh. Though they're both kind of sweet in their own regard, they're very harsh at the same time. They got an edge to them when you smell them. Alright, I think that's the amount that I want in there. It's about the amount that I think I'm going to stick with, and you can see the Fey Hu rune a little bit better. There we go. And then I'm going to secure it with a cork, the tiny cork it came with. And I ordered these small glass vials on Amazon. I order a lot of things on Amazon, but I'm very happy with these small bottles because this is perfect for what I'm doing here. And there's about 10 or 12 of them in a pack. So I secure it with the cork. And this is what it looks like. Now, of course, the label is obvious. I put that there so I know what's in it. And the heart is obvious for its purpose, to increase or incite love or influence love towards myself. And the Fey Hu rune, that's a personal preference. You don't have to do a Fey Hu rune on it. If there's another symbol that you signify or identify as being close to love, then place that on the back if you're going to engrave it. If you're not going to engrave it, just write it with you could write it with a marker or paint, or you could do it on a Post-it note, whatever symbol you want to put on there, and then tape over it like I did here. But now, what would you use this for? What kind of activities could possibly be produced through this little vial? Now, the first one I'll mention is the use as basically just carrying it as a charm. It can be basically a talisman. I call it a charm because it's more accurate. A charm is kind of something that influences a little bit, but isn't a force in and of itself. It adds on to yourself, in my opinion. It being a charm basically means that love will be more likely to come your way in the ways that you want, but it won't be a force in and of itself. Now, there are two other things you can do with it. One, you can open it and smell it every time you're about to talk to somebody that you want to make a loving connection with, or you can kind of sprinkle it on yourself or pat it on your neck or your shirt, make yourself smell like that. And it won't just be the scent, but it'll be the meaning behind the magical act that'll draw the love to you. But the scent will be the catalyst. It'll be the source that you transfer the magic of the spell through, of the minor spell through. And the final usage I'll probably do with this this love charm is I might sprinkle some on my hand, just a little bit, and then blow it to somebody, or not onto them, but in the direction of someone once I see them that I want to have a loving relationship with, that I want to attract love from, and make that kind of connection to. And it's not just blowing this dust off my hand towards them. It has to do with one-pointedly focusing on that person in your mind and what you want to happen with that person, the connection you want to feel, what you see yourself as doing with that person in the future. Focus on that as you blow it towards them, and then look at them directly. And it's going to be unlikely that you'll be able to pull it off if they're looking directly at you, because they'll be like, what the hell? So they don't have to be looking directly at you, but one-pointedly focus on that person and the kind of relationship you want to have with them, and blow the dust off your hand. That's the purpose of this vial as well. And it doesn't matter if you use it all. You don't have to only use the amount that's in there. You can add some more in the future, but it is a reservoir of magic, so you wanna have at least some amount in there if you're going to carry it around. Otherwise, the ingredients won't work for you. They won't work in your favor. And that's basically all I got to say about making this little magical love charm. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. And if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. And I'd love some more subscribers. And I'm always open to suggestions. So y'all have a great day, and thank you very much for watching.